2022, right around the corner. Wouldn't everybody want an astrologer to give you a little overview of each sign? Aries, you have a really good year in 2022. It was really hard for you. From 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, got a little softer. 2022 is a good year for Aries. Jupiter's in Aries from May through October, and you're going to feel this expansive of energy. You've got a productive start. It's going to be sensitive during the spring, but there's an abundance during the summer and a lot of discipline in the winter. So Aries, this is your year, 2022. Get out there. Feel the freedom of not being oppressed. Taurus, not such an easy year for fixed signs in particular. That would be Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius, but there's a lot of growth. Even though it's uncomfortable, there's going to be change, or you could risk getting stuck. So you've got to be willing to change. Uranus is in Taurus. It's going to be going on for the next few years. And Saturn is in Aquarius. So the two of them are squaring. During April and May, and during October and November, there is called the eclipse season, and that's not easy on Taurus. So I want to say to you, don't think it's a hard year. It's just a year of invitation for you to get motivated, because at worst, we all know Taurus gets comfortable and repeats. This is time where things are coming to change, and I want to encourage you to go get your chart done so you can get some support. Gemini. This is a really fun year under the condition that you get grounded. Because Jupiter's in Aries during the summer, it's a very energetic time. And there's grounding because Saturn is a late degree of air. It's going to be trining Gemini. So there's a wonderful opportunity between Jupiter giving you energy, Saturn giving you some focus. The question is, can you ground? So I just suggest for Geminis to get a goal setting during January of 2022, make a list of what you want to do and put a timeline to it, and you're going to find yourself really energized this year. Cancer 2022. Pluto's in Capricorn. For the late degree Cancers, the very last 5 to 8 degrees, you're in a transition, the very big change for you Cancers who are born late degree. Because Jupiter in Aries, we've been talking about this, is going to square, it's going to give you some motivation during the summer, or you'll feel outside of your comfort zone and fall behind. That's going to be a question. In the summer, did you set your goals so you didn't feel under the effect of this square that took you down, but rather it motivated you to get focused? The months that lack water could be difficult. That's like January and the last 3 weeks of June, August, September. Just notice during the late spring and early fall, there's not a lot of water in the sky, and you need that to feel comfortable. So what you do is you learn about your meditation, you keep yourself in a flow state, you keep the water element part of your expression. Even if the sky is not supporting you, you're going to say, you know what, I learned from Debra, I kept my meditation going, I learned how to go slowly, and my Cancer's feeling very motivated. Leo, you, by the beginning of the year, you're going to feel your energy really needing to be directed. It lightens by springtime, but in the winter, you want focus. By the time Jupiter gets there in the summer, there's all this fire energy. It's just going to give you some high motivation. And by the end of the winter of 2022, you're going to feel the call of action that Saturn in Aquarius is opposite your sun. So this year requires discipline from you, Leo. It requires you saying yes to life, paying attention to how big your energy is during the summer. But because Saturn is opposite your sun and you want to consult an astrologer to know when that's occurring, it gives you discipline or it makes you feel so overworked. So Leo, you've got a very active year. And the question is, will you be in coordinated effort with it? And you'll be able to track when discipline is around? Or will you feel like, wow, there's so much energy, there's so much to do, and you get super excited and it gets a little scattered? So I want to encourage Leos to get an astrology reading and say, where's the season when Saturn's opposite my sun over 2022 that I can use the discipline and know how to focus my energy and not get overwhelmed by how big it is? It's a good year, but there's just a lot of energy for you. Virgo, you have the gift of Jupiter in Pisces until May. So Jupiter is opposite Virgo from January to May, the first 5 months. That gives you opportunity to dream, which is your specialty. Now, by the time spring comes, May and then June, July, and the summer, it's going to subdue. So you want to prepare the first 6 months. If I were you, Virgo, I would say, here's my goals. I'm going to get real motivated in the winter. And then by summertime, I'm going to plan some trips. There's a productive fall and winter when there's lots of earth. That's going to help you when the sun goes into Virgo, when the sun goes into Capricorn. That supports you. So the question is, start at the beginning of the year with motivation, Prepare a wonderful summer of travel. Neptune's in Pisces, Jupiter's in Pisces all the way through May. At that point, you're going to want to say, what can I do to have some fun? Early part of the year, working hard. Second part, having fun. This is a really creative year for Libras. One, Saturn in Aquarius is trining Libra, so you've got some support. And because Jupiter's in Aries, opposite your sun in Libra for the beginning part of the year, there's momentum. It's kind of an easy year for Libra. There's not a lot of conflict as there was 2 years ago when Saturn was in Capricorn. All summer long, Jupiter's in Aries. It gives you growth and it can give you the opportunity to expand. Important, Libra, while the year is so easy for you, you want to make sure you're using the energy to focus because it's just light. Sometimes we have a year like that where there's not a lot of conflict and it's over the hard parts, so we kind of glide or we just go vague. Libra, your worst trait is your indecisiveness. So use the Aries energy that's giving you that opposition over the summer, or it will use you by creating scattered energy. You want to be focused and say, even though it feels really easy, let me still have some goals, especially during the air and fire months. Scorpio, this is an intense year for you. There's a lot of fixed energy, and it's wanting you to get things done, which you're great at. So it's about staying on task, which you're great at. You have to address your resistance to change before your hand is forced. So if you know in the beginning of the year it's an intense year, you don't want to use struggle to get you motivated because Uranus and Taurus is opposite the mid degree of all of you Scorpios, anybody born in the middle, and Saturn in Aquarius is squaring you. That's also occurring. This is why you want to see an astrologer, because if you don't get in harmony with the energy, it starts to get angsty and it starts to get frustrated. So I want you to pay extra attention to your emotional body during the months of January, August, and September, because there's no water in the sky and you're the sensitive one. And this year's bringing a lot of tension. And if you were really using your energy properly, you would absolutely focus it, knowing that there's a tension and it creates results and there'll be no complaining. You were warned. Not an easy year for comfort, but a great year for getting things done. Sagittarius, this is a grounding year for you. It's not your favorite thing in the winter. You're going to ground, you're going to get goals, you're going to go outside and play. The only outer planet that can give you any grief is Neptune, is squaring Sag, and you have to go to an astrologer to get the exact dates of that. Because Saturn's in Aquarius and you're a fire sign, so we've got fire and air, there's a lot of momentum for you. You've got an easy energy. The energy is going to really pick up when Jupiter's in Aries over the summer. That's going to trine you. So you've got this Aries helping all your fire. There's momentum. The biggest question is, how will you ground? And using that Saturn sextile, that is a wonderful opportunity for you to say, it's time for me to focus. Maybe it's making a trip. Maybe it's getting outside. Maybe it's going back to school. It's a wonderful year for you, 2022. Capricorn, here we go. You're going to get shit done this year. Late degree Capricorns, you need to go see an astrologer, especially the last 3 or 4 days, because Pluto is finally completing with you, and that is transformation. There's no question about it. You're going to get a motivating push from Jupiter in the summer in Aries to think bigger and to give you some energy that's even bigger and fun. Missing ingredient for Capricorn in the last few years is fun. You have permission to get some fun. You've got a strong start in January. It's followed by some water dominant months until April. So January, February, March is really good for you. Then when Jupiter enters Aries and there's a square, it's less about the comfort and more about focus. And what do you love more than focus? This is a productive fall and winter for you. And I'm going to say the relief of that hard cycle that was just over there 2 years ago feels so good, you really can't go wrong. Mr. and Mrs. Aquarius, 2022, you're having Saturn return, first of all. Anyone born from 11 degrees to 25 degrees of Aquarius, you've got to go look at your birth date and see, is Saturn hitting you on the head? Every 30 years, Saturn's in Aquarius. Aquarians are being asked to get disciplined. It's a hard work cycle. It's not an easy year. Uranus is in Taurus squaring Aquarius, breaking old habits, having you change your mind. You're so good at arguing, but what happens when life says to you, stick to the course and stay with it? Can you make the necessary changes to accept that it's a work cycle and you don't want to escape? You want to stay the course and stay focused. November's an easy month. So is May. So you've got the middle of the cycle, in the 5th month, and then at the end of the cycle. But in the meantime, you're going to feel the tension, and the fire heavy months, Aries, Leo, and Sag, that's going to give you some relief. So notice that. And if I were you, I'd go see an astrologer, because you want to know, when is the discipline being asked of me? When is Saturn once every 30 years hitting you to say, get focused, get disciplined? Wouldn't you want to know that so you can properly focus? I would. Okay, Pisces, those late degree Pisces have Neptune on their sun from like 25 degrees on, the very last degree. And that means you're going to feel a little bit lost. You're going to feel a little bit out of focus. You come that way. But if you're a late degree, the last 5 days of Pisces, you've got Neptune really asking you to stay in the dream state, use your poetry, be creative. Early in the year is much easier for you. So that's when Jupiter's in Pisces until May. It's all about you expanding and traveling and feeling so open. And if you've got that last 5 degrees of Pisces, you'd want to see an astrologer, because you're like, what should I do with Neptune? Get a strong start at the beginning of the year. Let the momentum carry you through. And when in doubt, prioritize your spirit and your creative outlet, and you'll be able to use this amazing energy, Pisces, that's coming towards you. Jupiter in Pisces till May. That happens once every 12 years. It's your turn to expand, to travel, to be creative, to say yes. Have fun, Pisces. This is one of your best years. If you like this video, be sure to join the waitlist for my online school, Applied Astrology, where you'll discover the basics of how to read your birth chart and how to give readings to others. Your true purpose in this lifetime is waiting for you, and a clear roadmap so you can follow your path and fall madly in love with you. Come click in the description to join the waitlist, and I'll let you know when the registration opens again. You'll be the first one on the list.